everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I'm your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I try to help you spend your wine dollars wisely. And I'm still a little bit giddy about having my last episode, Chris Tangi, Master Sommelier out of Seattle, who now works for Venom Distributing as their portfolio manager. It was really nice to have him up to interview him. It wasn't like an in-depth interview, but we got a chance to talk about the movie Somm. He had a chance to go through some of the wines that he had selected to taste at that tasting in the video, and it was just fun. It was very nice. He's a very nice guy. Typical of Master Somms. Everybody sometimes associates them with, wine snobs, but they're exact opposite. They understand public service and helping people and all that, and everyone that I've met so far has been very gracious and humble and modest, which is very, very good if you're in the wine business and you have the attitude that I do, that you hate wine snobbery. In fact, really the only wine, when we talked about this after we taped the video, is one of the biggest wine snobs is somebody who calls himself a sommelier and has not gone through the steps to get to that level. And, I took the first level, which wasn't all that difficult. I'm getting ready to do the certified, studying. I have to practice champagne service, but I'm hoping to get to the certified level and the advanced. I don't know if I ever want to go for master, but we'll see. We'll see. It's a lot of work. I have a wife that I need to pay attention to and take care of. So, those are things you have to take into consideration before you go about that. It was interesting that Chris said that he only studied about, well, he didn't only, but he studied about 20 hours a week for a year preparing for the theory part of the test, and he passed the first time. He had to take it twice. The tasting part was the one that, and I think that the tasting is one that probably a lot of them have to. In the movie The Somm, Ian Cobble had to take the tasting again, and I believe Brian, when he went back in that movie, he was going back to take the tasting side of that event. Anyway, it's still Wasnghington Wine Month. March is Wasnghington Wine Month. I haven't been pounding you. With Washington wines, just a few here and there. I hit a couple of Australians just a few days ago because the entire year of 2015 I'm looking at Australia, trying to promote their wines because I think they got, like I said, they got hit hard with that whole yellowtail liniment thing. So I'm going that direction. I've got some wines from Raj Par that I want to do his new line called Sandi. That'll be coming up soon. And, I'm working on editing. I just redid the video I did with Chris Tangi. Hope you can watch it. And I just have a short introduction, but it's nice. And in the end, I have some credits. It's kind of cool. We'll see how that turns out. I'm still working on it. So let's get started right off the bat. We're doing Saviah Cellars. Rich Funk is the winemaker. I'm excited to have him up for an event in the near future as a winemaker tasting thing. This is the Jack. This is his second label, 2012 Columbia Valley Cabernet Sauvignon. It rolls in at $15. And really, truly, Jack, and I'll have to say, is one of my really consistent selling wines at the store. Good quality. I haven't tasted in a while, so I'm excited about this, tasting through these wines. We just have a couple today, make it a little short for you. But this is 2012, great vintage out of Washington. I've tasted some classic wines. Very interesting, a wine that was a 2013. I love the 2012. 13 came along, and dramatic change in quality. So it's very important to kind of keep up with vintages. They do affect the quality of the wine, the quality of the fruit in the wine, and so I'm excited about this. 2012, $15, good value. Let's give it a smell. So right off the bat, I get dark cherries and ripe currants. There's a little bit of leather, which is kind of cool. I like that leather action. By the way, I put the tablecloth back on. I kind of got away from that. But I think it, all that banging and clanging kind of even bothers me. I don't think it's terrible. Some people might not bother them at all. I just thought it'd be cool to get the tablecloth back up there. A little bit of a mocha kind of chocolate thing going on, which I like. Let's see what we get on the palate. Really nice depth to this cab. It has good structured tannins. They're smooth. They're a little not grippy, but they get a little serious on the finish, which I like a lot. There's really big time currants on this. What I really like about this wine is it has a lot of white pepper and spice, which is really cool when you're drinking a cab. You don't always get that in Cabernet Sauvignon, but when you do, it kind of adds another dimension that makes it really cool. Good structure, good acidity, nice balance. It never goes too fruity. It stays in check. I get that leather component coming through. A little bit of earth, which I really like. Like not dirt, but like baked earth. It's just an element of earth, an essence of earth coming through, which is really cool. A little bit of black licorice. The chocolate comes through on the backside. Has a really decent finish. I mean, pretty decent for 15 bucks. It's still lingering. That spicy action lingers pretty good. For 15 bucks, baby. For 15 bucks. This 2012 is an absolute phenomenal wine. Phenomenal. And what I like about the spiciness, now I don't know if it's 100% cab, I didn't look it up. It doesn't say anything on the back, which kind of pisses me off, but there must be something else in there to give it that spicy characteristic. I'm going to look it up. Maybe I'll mention it on my next video. I'm not going to get as many videos out because this way I'm editing now. I'm not really editing the videos. I'm adding a front and a back to the videos, which is really cool. Maybe a few titles in the middle. I like it a lot. I'm using Windows Live Movie Maker or something like that on my computer. I also got another editing tool that I'm going to try. I don't want to cut anything out. I want it to be live. I want it to be real. If I make a mistake or somebody make a mistake, if I say something wrong, in Chris's video, the interview, I said defecated fruit. I was looking at Mike Sheridan, so that's explained. I meant desiccated, but it sounded funny. You know, I could have taken that out. I didn't want to. I hate that cutting, herky-jerky stuff. Certainly not a pro at editing. Don't care. We all make mistakes, right? We're not perfect. That's what, you know, life is all about. I'm going to go A- on that. That is for the money. Just a killer value. Really good value for $15. A-. Let's move on to the next one. Now, shout out to Matthew who pays attention to one of my favorite varietals, Cab Franc. So what does he send me? A Saviah Cellars Cab Franc Columbia Valley 2010. Now, this gets a little more serious on the price side. This is $30, but it's really hard to find Cab Franc out of Washington for less money than this if it's any good. One of my favorite Cab Francs, and I'll say it right now, is Mike Sheridan's from Northwest Stoneham Cellars. I said it in the interview, and I really do believe that is one of the better ones in Washington State. There are some other ones I like a lot also. Let's see what we get on the nose. 2010, so you know, they hold it back a little bit and let it mature, which is a good thing. Typical thing in Cab Franc, it tends to be a little bit herbaceous, has a little green pyrazine thing going on. This one gets a little bit of that, not a lot. A lot of tobacco, almost like a green tobacco. I'm getting currants, a little red and black currant thing going on. A lot of bark, you know, like not like quite beauty bark, but older bark notes coming through. And a little bit of like not desiccated rose petal, but you know, kind of almost slightly wilted rose petal. Let's see what we get on the palate. some serious competition for Northwest Saviah Cellars. Good depth. Very, very deep wine. And what I mean by deep, the fruit notes just seem to penetrate the palate. It leaves you thinking, okay, what did I just taste? You know, what is there? I got a little white pepper, I got black currants, I got bark, I got tobacco. And yet it goes down deeper into other dark fruits that come through. I would say black cherry, maybe a little blackberry coming through. Don't want to get wine on my shirt. You know, it doesn't have any greenness to it. There's a little bit of this like you might have chewed on a blackberry bush stem and the initial hit is way gone, but there's that little bit of aftertaste. That's all you get in that category. Just really, really good structure, good acidity, good tannins. This baby will age easily for 5 to 15 years. I think it'll only get better. It's already 5 years old, or getting close to 5 years old, 4.5 years old. Easily 14 to 20 years old. This will drink even more beautifully. I'm really confident in that. This is a great bottle of wine. I'm going to go A+ on this. This is a really nice, structured, deep, serious bottle of Cabernet Franc. It just proves that Washington State is probably one of the most diverse states for growing grapes in the world. Hands down, they can do a lot of different wines very well, and Cab Franc is one of those varietals that just hits a home run in Washington State. Excellent wines. Saviah Cellars, look them up. The Jack or just Saviah Cellars. They're excellent wines. $30, yeah, little hit in the wallet, but let me tell you, it's going to be worth it. Thanks for watching, and remember, wine is not a mystery, it is just fermented grape juice. Be willing to try new things, trust your palate, learn your palate, never let anybody tell you what you should or shouldn't like. Just enjoy wine, and if you do that, together we can take the snob out of wine.